Tonight, a new season means new concerns. As summer winds down, experts are weighing in on how this fall could impact wildfires. Plus, law enforcement agencies are on the roads enforcing an old law with a renewed focus, why they're asking drivers to move over. And a fresh new school year is upon us, and educators are focused on keeping kids in the classroom and healthy all year long.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke. Thanks for joining us. With fall just a few short weeks away, many are wondering what our region's wildfire situation could look like heading into the new season. CBS3's Peter Kavakauskis heard from local experts about what they are expecting.
Fall could mean increased fire risk as the season changes and drought conditions continue across the state. Peter Boulay, a climatologist with the Minnesota DNR, says that's largely because this drought is one of the worst the state has ever seen.
One thing that really stands out is this is the worst drought we've seen since the last big one, the 87 through 89 drought. In northern Minnesota, that wasn't as bad as in central and southern parts of the state. There were older droughts that were worse than that up north. But for the whole state, this drought we're in right now has been the worst that we've seen.
Joe Moore, a meteorologist with the National Weather Service in Duluth, agrees, saying additional vegetation death on top of this year's drought is particularly concerning.
Minnesota has kind of two fire seasons. The main fire season is in the spring when we lose all of our snowpack and the vegetation hasn't greened up yet. And then in the fall, before we get our snowpack, when all of the vegetation starts to die off as it gets colder, as we get our frost, that creates conditions, if we can get warm, dry, and windy conditions, for fires to spread easily.
For now, Boulay says our best hope is a lot of rain in the forecast as the deficit continues to climb.
Duluth is still behind normal for the month of August. Looks like it'll finish August below normal, over an inch below normal. Going back to June 1st, Duluth will be about 5 inches short of normal. So we have a long way to go to erase this drought up here in northeast Minnesota. We need a lot more rain to come up.
Because of that, more worries we may not see much relief until the flakes begin to fly.
Because of the drought, well, we had some rain recently. Because we still have these really dry conditions, as we go into the fall, if we can get a sustained, week or two of dry conditions, fire weather is going to continue to be an issue until we get snow on the ground.
More added, since the drought will force leaves to fall earlier than normal this year, that could also prolong wildfire conditions. But for now, the weather continues to help crews fighting the Greenwood fire near Isabella. In the last 24 hours, containment around the fire's perimeter has increased from 14 to 37%. Officials tell us the 505 people working the fire have been helped by cooler temps and light winds. It remains about 26,000 acres in size. And while there's excitement about more soaking rain in the forecast, we're told flames are still threatening more homes and cabins. 71 structures have already been torched by the Greenwood fire, which has burned now for 16 days. And more good news for wildfires burning in the BWCA. The John Eck fire has been reduced from 1,500 acres to about 1,300. Forest officials say recent rain has helped suppress the flames and allowed crews to set up fire mitigation. Meanwhile, the Welt fire has remained steady at 50 acres. Neither fires are contained at this point. Both were started by a lightning strike. The BWCA and parts of the Gunflint Trail remain closed. Today marks the last day of meteorological summer, and it's been the warmest season Duluth has ever seen. Between June 1st and today, the average temperature was 67.8 degrees. That's a half degree warmer than summer of 2012, which until now was Duluth's hottest all-time season. According to the National Weather Service in Duluth, it wasn't extreme heat that helped to break that record, but just consistently warmer than average temperatures. And while meteorological fall starts tomorrow, the true season change is September 22nd. And Dave, as you know, I am holding on to summer as long as I possibly can.
That's always a good plan around here. Let it pull it from your grip at the very last second. Well, this warm summer, just like 2012, a half degree warmer, great for gardeners. I've got zucchini the size of Chrysler New Yorkers in my garden right now, and of course, I'll be eating a lot of those. Temperatures today, a little bit cooler than the past summer we're coming out of here now. Fairly close to the normal of 73. A little warmer than normal in Aura at 77 and Hayward at 75, but places like Superior came up a couple degrees short. So by splitting the difference, pretty normal. And I think we'll have similar conditions tomorrow. High pressure's in control, so it'll be dry tonight and dry tomorrow with sunshine and high temps near 72, 73 degrees when averaged out. The day of change will be Thursday when the twin highs we have now go away and dual lows come to call, bringing in a pretty decent chance for showers. That's the extended forecast, frankly, because the short term says, yeah, it's going to be dry and sunny through tomorrow. But again, Thursday, rain coming. I'll give you a hint on how much I think is going to come across in just a few more minutes.
Dave. Next week, Duluth students will head back to in-person learning to start the school year. The Duluth School Board ruled masks must be worn by students and staff. This is especially important at schools like Homecroft Elementary, where the students are not eligible to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Homecroft Principal Tom Cockut says the district is working closely with St. Louis County and the Minnesota Department of Health to follow health protocols. He says if a student has COVID symptoms, they will be sent home to quarantine.
If students are wearing masks at school and if there's a positive case in the class, if they are masked, the other students in the class are not going to need to quarantine, which is a significant change from last year. Because in the past, we would require an entire class or group of kids to quarantine, when this year it's essentially going to be the family group or the student that has symptoms or tested positive.
Cockut says they're spacing desks and keeping students in pods at lunch and recess to reduce transmission. First grade teacher Lisa Lochner says she's excited to be back in class. She recognizes it could be tough to get kids back on track after last year, but they're ready for the challenge.
We're adopting a new social emotional learning curriculum this year, which I'm really excited about. I think that'll help us talk about feelings and, how we're feeling about school, how we're feeling about being back, making new friends, seeing faces we haven't seen before.
Lochner says as we head back to school, communication is key. If parents have any questions or concerns, the teachers are available and willing to find an answer. Northland healthcare leaders are sounding the alarm as COVID cases continue surging in the region. Reps from St. Louis County, Essentia Health, St. Luke's, and Grand Itasca all spoke out as case rates, hospitalizations, and deaths are again on the rise. In St. Louis County, there were 273 new cases last week. That's a 52% jump from the week before. The hospitals are running out of ICU beds, which means they're struggling to care for both COVID patients and people with other medical conditions. An Essentia doctor says there are 4 things you can do to help. Get vaccinated, mask up in public, understand the stress frontline workers are facing, and don't put off preventative care. She says they need your help now more than ever.
We need you to vaccinate, mask, and we need you to avoid other things which will add further stress to our healthcare systems. Sadly, our situation today is quite serious.
The doctors and nurses say they're also coping with limited staffing, which is making it even harder to respond to the surge in cases. Yesterday, we brought you the pandemic-related changes students on UMD's campus can expect to see this year. And with the FDA approval of the Pfizer vaccine, campuses across the state are enforcing mask mandates. That includes the University of Minnesota. All of U of M students on the main campus who will have to file proof of their vaccination status with the U by October 8th. Now, if they don't, a hold will be placed on their registration. U of M officials say they don't expect much pushback from their students.
We are not anticipating a large number of people who aren't cooperating, but of course we're prepared for that eventuality.
The U says vaccinations are easy to get, including at the U's Health Center, where students can get a shot for free. Hermantown police officers are partnering with other law enforcement agencies across the Northland, hoping to save lives on Minnesota roads. Today, they had extra enforcement out on Highway 53, highlighting the Ted Foss Move Over Law. It went into effect 21 years ago after a tractor trailer hit and killed a Minnesota state trooper who was conducting a traffic stop in Rochester. Hermantown police say this is a safety concern for officers every single day.
Most importantly, it's so that this doesn't happen again, and that's why we do it each and every year. We have squad cars that get crashed into every year because of people either being distracted or not moving over.
If you're traveling on a road with 2 or more lanes, the law says drivers must stay 1 full lane away from a stopped emergency vehicle. That includes ambulances, fire trucks, and others with their emergency lights on. A judge is considering whether to suspend major changes to Minnesota's use of deadly force law. Lawmakers passed the changes last year after George Floyd's death. They took effect in March. It raised the bar, calling on officers to justify their actions involving lethal force. But now several police groups argue officers haven't had enough time for proper training and to adapt to the requirements. So they're asking for the changes to be thrown out. A Ramsey County judge has promised a ruling soon. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, a local judge made his final commute to work today. How the community made it one he will never forget.
Temperature-wise, today was straight on normal. High temp of 73 at the airport in Duluth versus the normal of 73. That's the way we'll ride temperatures for the week ahead. A little bit under, a little bit over each day in some places, but averaging out towards normal. Now, along with normal temperatures, will we be getting normal rainfall? There's a chance. We'll talk about when it comes, coming up after our break.
One of our biggest furniture events of the year, the Labor Day sale at Slumberland. Take an additional 25% off our already low prices.
Well, hello, Slumberland.
Get your look for less at the huge Labor Day sale at Slumberland.
Find the home of your dreams with Homes by Edmunds. Whether you're buying or selling, trust Duluth's oldest real estate company, Homes by Edmunds, LLP. Sunday mornings at 10:30 on CBS 3.
Hi, I'm Steven, your Bauer and CCM skate and stick fit specialist here at Play It Again Sports. The Bauer Skate Lab creates a perfect 3D mold of every hockey player's foot. Stop in today to get your perfect fit.
Trade in! Trade up! And save!
Do you listen to the TV on high volume or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from hearing aids. Don't waste thousands on expensive hearing aids when you can get Nano's revolutionary technology for just $297. Don't be fooled by higher-priced hearing aids. The CIC Recharge is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. With rechargeable technology many customers say is superior to more expensive models. Call now and get not 1, but 2 Nano hearing aids for just $297. Plus, we'll add a portable charging case and ship your order absolutely free. The CIC Recharge has a tiny in-the-ear canal design that is nearly invisible. Why keep missing out on important conversations or waste thousands of dollars? Call and get 2 CIC Recharge hearing aids for only $297 and free shipping.
800-758-1647. Again, that's 800-758-1647.
I got into journalism when I was in high school, actually, and that's where I really fell in love with the news and the storytelling aspect of it, being able to bring those things together and keep people informed. It's so important for us to be in a community like Duluth, to be able to hear your stories and then bring them to everybody else in the community.
Watch Caitlin and Jenna in the morning at 5 and 6 a.m.
Incredible savings on mattresses during our Labor Day sale now at Slumberland. Sealy Posturepedic all on sale, starting as low as $4.99. And we're one of the only stores reducing waste through our mattress recycle programs. Shop now at Slumberland.
Hello, house guest. Come on. Stay tuned, America. This competition starts now.
Let's do this. Like a ninja.
I am just the hot mess express.
I got choked up a little bit.
The pressure is turned up. I am definitely feeling the burn on this one.
I won.
New Big Brother, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday at 8/7 Central, or stream anytime.
I'm so excited.
On CBS.
CBS 3 Weather is brought to you by St. Luke's. Now, the CBS 3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Let's start this go-around with a live look at what's happening in Ashland. And thanks to high pressure, The weather is very calm there, hardly a big ripple on Chequamegon Bay. And the sky from this distance looks perhaps a little bit hazy, and maybe a little bit of that haze is blowing off of the Greenwood fire over on the opposite shore of Lake Superior, but it's definitely not as bad as it was last week. We don't have any alerts for air quality right now. We don't have any alerts for anything. And when our next rain chance comes on Thursday, there may be a chance for some thunderstorms, so things could change up then. We'll talk about the odds of that paying off here in just a bit. Right now, we have the current conditions from Duluth International Airport at 69 degrees. Relative humidity is 53%. Easterly winds running 10 miles per hour, with our air pressure holding steady on the high side at 29.98 inches of mercury. Into the current temperatures, we'll start up north and work down to the southeast this time around. 73 from International Falls to Ora to Evelyn, Virginia, and Gilbert too. 73 Big Fork and Grand Rapids, and Aitkin too. All right, now we got to look at Hinckley. They're 73. Any 73s in Wisconsin? No. Just a little bit cooler there, perhaps. 72s, though, from Solon Springs to Hayward. And yeah, it is cooler in the Upper Peninsula, upper 60s there. So that's the way we'll roll for the week ahead. If the normal's around 73, we'll bracket it with a few towns higher and a few towns lower, but no drastic extremes for that. For precip, will we get any drastic extremes? Frankly, I don't think so, but things are going to change up here in just a little bit. Right now, we've got twin high-pressure cells in position, so the sky is on the clear side, the sunny side, frankly, with a few clouds that were rolling through central parts of Wisconsin earlier in the day, and that's because of a low that's built up along a frontal boundary. But that's not the low that'll be affecting our area. Through Wednesday, the highs will keep us dry, keep that low at bay. It's these two to the west that'll be with us by Thursday. And when they come to town, we'll kick off Thursday, and especially Thursday night, with a 60% chance for showers and maybe even a couple of isolated thunderstorms. Now the latest data indicates here. As far as rain totals go, I think a quarter inch will be a common theme Thursday into early Friday morning, but a little more possible if, of course, one of those thunderstorms gets right over your house. Then we hold on to some shower chances through Friday and early Saturday morning, and then clear up for the rest of Labor Day weekend. Tonight in Minnesota, partly cloudy, low temps 47 to 55. For Wisconsin and Michigan, partly cloudy, low temps about 48 to 50. For tomorrow, one more day of sunshine. Wisconsin, Michigan, you get high temps 72 to 77. And Minnesota should run 72 to 77 inland. Those 60s may be more prevalent by the lake, thanks to an easterly wind making it cooler by the lake. All right, extended forecast shows that we get those rain chances Thursday, Friday, and Saturday morning to start the Labor Day weekend, but we'll finish it on a warm note, perhaps 70. That's not bad. And a sunny note, too, both Sunday and Monday.
Thanks, Dave. The longest-serving judge in northeastern Minnesota retired today. 6th District Judge Robert McCauley filled that position for 26 years. McCauley rides his bike to work every day, but this final commute was extra special. He biked down Highway 45 alongside family, friends, and a law enforcement escort. They went all the way to the Carleton County Courthouse and were greeted with a cheering crowd.
I was just absolutely overwhelmed. All of the squad cars, all of the people on bikes, and then to get the escort into the parking lot here and all of the signs, I'm just absolutely overwhelmed. Totally unexpected.
The retiring judge isn't sure what the future holds, but knows it involves more time with family. An advisory panel recommended 3 candidates to fill the vacancy. Governor Tim Walz has the final say in appointing McCauley's successor. And let me tell you, Kelly, earlier we showed a full story on that retirement party, and those people were full of energy. It was great.
Well, to ride your bike to work every day?
Every single day.
I never have I ever even considered riding my bike into this place.
Maybe you should before the snow falls.
Okay. Let's talk about sports. The Superior Spartans have been left without an opponent for this Friday due to a spread of COVID within their opponent's team. We'll have more on that story coming up next.
Every day during your birthday month, you can receive up to $30 in club cash.
CBS3 Live Cams, brought to you by KohlerChef.com, now featuring the Kohler Express Deal online buying solution. KohlerChef.com, a better way to buy.
I'm Dr. Matthew Penning. I'm a family physician at St. Luke's. I like to try and empower the patients to take control of their own health care. Doctors may give advice, but it's really the choices of the patients that determine the outcomes of their health care. So I think it's really important that we speak in a way that patients understand and can get information. I chose to practice at St. Luke's because it seems more like a family environment. The atmosphere at Mariner is great, so I love it here.
What's so extreme about the DQ Reese's Extreme Blizzard? How about all the Reese's you could dream of, with classic creamy Reese's peanut butter cups and crunchy Reese's Pieces? Plus, you guessed it, peanut butter topping and chocolatey topping. All blended in world-famous DQ soft serve, for a treat that takes your favorite combo to a whole new level. Wow, what a rush. Get it delivered at DQ.com.
Not all internet is created equal. If you want internet that's even faster than advertised, if you want Wi-Fi on Mega Blast, if you want enough power to power all the things, that's asking for more than a lot. That's demanding extreme. And you deserve it.
Doesn't really matter who you are, where you live. You have a 20 family.
People reach a crisis moment and they don't see any other way out.
Suicide is the fourth leading cause of death for people ages 25 to 34. People struggle with it every day.
Hi, I'm Representative Tom Tiffany. If you or your loved one struggles with their mental health and or thoughts of suicide, no, you are not alone. Reach out for help and talk to someone.
This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
I got into journalism when I was in high school, actually, and that's where I really fell in love with the news and the storytelling aspect of it, being able to bring those things together and keep people informed. It's so important for us to be in a community like Duluth, to be able to hear your stories and then bring them to everybody else in the community.
Watch Caitlin and Jenna in the morning at 5 and 6 a.m.
Be a little bit brave. Don't ever be afraid to.
Got a couple questions.
Do you think it's time for schools to reopen?
There is some positive breaking news. We've got a lot of important new information for you and your family.
The Superior football team had hopes of coming home this Friday night with a clean slate to start conference play, but unfortunately, they won't be getting that opportunity. Superior's game against Eau Claire North has been canceled. Eau Claire North Athletic Director Mike Pernsteiner released a statement citing a lack of available players for this week's game due to a spread of COVID-19. A Superior Athletic Director tells CBS3 that they tried to find a new opponent, but were not able to find a team to come up to Superior on such short notice, so they'll be taking the week off and preparing for their game at New Richmond next week. And today is the day NFL teams finalize their 53-man roster ahead of the start of the regular season. The Vikings made some headlines releasing several guys that surprised fans, starting with defensive end Everson Griffin, who was literally just brought back last week. But according to several notable beat writers in the Twin Cities, the Vikings are expected to bring Ev back. Veteran running back Amir Abdullah, long snapper Andrew DePola, who is the only long snapper on the roster, and guard Dakota Dozier were also among those releases that surprised fans. The Vikings opened their season against the Cincinnati Bengals on September 12th. As for the Packers, they only kept two quarterbacks in Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love, releasing Kurt Benkert, who took the majority of preseason snaps for Green Bay. They went with 6 receivers, keeping bubble hopeful Malik Taylor. But maybe the most perplexing move, they released both of their rostered punters, J.K. Scott and J.J. Munson. According to an ESPN report, the Packers have acquired Corey Bjorquez from the Rams in exchange for a 2023 6th-round pick. And as New Orleans recovers from Hurricane Ida, the Saints game against the Packers, scheduled for September 12th, could be moved elsewhere. Today, Saints coach Sean Payton said that they're leaning towards playing the game in Dallas at AT&T Stadium. New Orleans is currently without power and could be for several weeks. And this is a graphic we've seen 1 or 2 dozen times course of the years when it comes to women's hockey at the international level. USA and Canada. It's a classic tale as old as time. It's been more than 3 years since the U.S. and Canadian women last clashed in an IIHF gold medal game. Canada and USA have already met once in the tourney, and it was the Americans' rivals across the board that prevailed in the 5-1 thrashing in group play. Before that, it was USA that won in that 3-2 Olympic shootout in Pyeongchang. I mean, what more do you want from an international rivalry? The U.S. women's national team takes the stage at 6:30 p.m. local time on NHL Network for the gold medal. Local connections that you can cheer on include Bulldogs defenseman Ashton Bell and former All-American defenseman Jocelyn The Rock. They both play for Team Canada. And former UMD hockey operations director Nick Bryant, who was just promoted to Team USA on their operations staff. Obviously, we will have highlights tonight in the CBS3 News at 10. Starts in just a few minutes, so finish our newscast, then head on over to the channel number, people.
And Kelly will have highlights at 10.
Yes, she will.
Thank you, Kelly. Well, also tonight on the CBS3 News at 10, as the Greenwood fire continues to burn, some Northlanders are still displaced from their home. Tonight, we'll hear from veterans on the lake who have opened their resort to firefighters and others who have been impacted by the massive fire. Well, as summer winds down, some are gearing up for the pumpkin spice season, and that includes Bud Light. The beverage company is releasing a pumpkin spice spiked seltzer. It's made with a blend of pumpkin, cinnamon, nutmeg, and vanilla. The new drink is part of a fall-themed variety pack. We love those, don't we? That includes flavors like toasted marshmallow, maple pear, and apple crisp. It's available starting September 6th. Thoughts?
If the can designs doesn't sell you enough, flavors will, because those are the flannel, the plaid. I'm so excited.
It feels like fall.
They have a Christmas one too. That's just cheers your heart with the holiday season.
You know, I am holding on to summer, but at least we'll have the summer-like temperatures with a nice fall drink, huh, Dave?
Yeah, that's a good way to split the difference there. All right, let's get a quick look at this 7-day forecast for the week ahead. We start on Wednesday with one more day of sunshine and temperatures near normal at 72. Slightly cooler comes around on Thursday as clouds thicken and we get our next rain chance. So we'll start September with a bit of precip. And a bit of precip could go about 1/4 of an inch Thursday and maybe another 1/4 of an inch by Friday morning. This rain chance will fizzle out probably early in the day on Saturday, then setting us up for a pretty decent latter half of the Labor Day weekend.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you at 10.